Have you ever been tested? You know, thinking about that, that's a wild way to start a video because that can mean so many things. But have you ever been tested? And that professor, that teacher that is conducting this test is not accredited in a college or a school. His profession is not being a professor, but this person that is giving you this test is your boo thing, your man, your guy, someone who is interested in you. Have you ever been tested by that person? You see, I made a video on this a long time ago, kind of went viral too. But the reason why it went viral is because there were so many different reactions on being tested and the reality of being tested by others. Some people took offense to being tested. Some people said it makes sense. So you had this war of words going on, but it is a real thing. It's a reality. People will test you to see how you are in different circumstances, different situations, the consistency in your personality, the decision making that you make on the things you feel like you need to do. People will test you and you will be graded. So in this video today, I'm going to talk about the reality, a part 2 even, of the things an interested man will test you on. And the first interesting way that a man will test you, or what he will test you on, is how you react to boundaries. Whether you respect his need for space, or you just brush it off, push past it, disregard it for your own selfish reasons. Boundaries are important, and they're not just important for keeping things out, but they're important for keeping things in. And one of the most major things that decent men want to keep in is their peace, serenity. What they don't want is insanity. And that is why when a man wants to have his time alone, have some space sometimes to figure things out or just be to himself, that is important to him because that is part of his process and his peace. This is also why communication is important when you're talking about yourself and the things you like and the things you expect, because your partner should not be blindsided by the things that matter the most to you, I'll say, especially that being boundaries. So if there is a man who likes these type of boundaries for his own specific reasons, and he's told you this about himself, those are going to be the things that he expects you to understand and respect. And with you having this knowledge of him, and he tries to get his space, his personal vacation from all things, and you disregard what he told you, you don't respect his space or his boundaries, then you have failed his test. One thing to take note is that the type of woman who gets tested on this, boundaries, are especially the women who don't respect boundaries or take them for play. If a man tells you like, hey, I'm really big on my boundaries, I'm really big on taking space to myself, and you just hit him with the, oh, okay, that's cute, or you don't really give full and meaningful understanding of it, that man is more likely to test you because he sees that you're not being for real with his desired preference, his personal need. So if you are that type of woman who doesn't take what he says seriously, he will most likely test you just to see how serious you are with the things that's serious to him. Let's go to another thing that interested men will test seriously on a woman is how you handle disagreements. He want to see if you fight fair or you go in for the kill. He want to see if you are intelligent, emotionally intelligent and having a conversation, or you just here to start an argument and get the last word. He wants to see if you're able to have a mature conversation or if you're going to make it just about yourself and how you feel. Disagreements will show the truth in people. Lord knows that is the truth. I have befriended a few good amount of people based on the truth that they told me and showed when a disagreement arose. Like, dang, I didn't know you felt that way. But it took us arguing and you getting upset for you to show me your real face. Interesting. A man will test you on that because if you are the type of woman who's going to make an argument about how you feel and about only how you feel, you don't put his feelings into consideration. You don't try to make it a partner agreement or a partner centralized solution. It's just about you. If you're the type of woman to try to cause emotional damage because a conversation or things aren't going your way, then he is going to define you by those moments of truth. And that is how you act in disagreements. How you handle these moments of turbulence speaks on how you will handle things in the long term. It also shows on a deeper level if you are trustworthy. Because if you are someone who snaps easily, or gets violent, putting hands on a man, or if you are super emotional, not only isn't he going to trust you in those moments of conversation, but he's not going to trust you with his money, y'all money. Because if you flipping off all violently and sporadically over a conversation, then who says you don't run off with our money or do something petty with our finances? If you are like this, a man is not going to trust you around the kids. Because if you are snapping like this, who says you're not going to put your anger out on others, especially the kids? He is not going to trust you in a lot of categories because trustworthiness does not just rely on truth and lies, but it also lies in how you manage your life. And if you seem questionable in that part of your life, then trust and believe you will be tested. And this leads me to my next thing that a lot of men will test a woman on, and that is whether you keep his vulnerability safe. Whether you are a safe, a locked fort, or you are a running faucet, just can't keep your mouth closed. As my grandma used to say, a bucket with the holes in the bottom. You just can't hold water. One of the worst things that can happen, especially piggybacking off the last point in disagreements, is for someone to bring up something that you confided in them. You saw this person as a trustworthy person, and you told them something private that you would hardly tell anyone else, if you would tell anyone else, and they bring it back up to hurt your feelings, to prove their point. That is the worst, one of the worst things you can do, because you will automatically lose all my trust. Weaponizing my truth that I presented to you will make me your enemy. And that's the case for a lot of people. That is a clear violation. But if you are giving signs of that type of person, he will test you on that. Because once again, about trustworthiness, if he cannot trust you with his vulnerabilities, his secrets, then it is most likely he is not going to want you or want to continue whatever y'all got going on right now. It's not worth it. And the next thing I want to talk about, and this is a big one, that men will test you on, specifically interested men, is how you speak on others. Now, there are so many layers to this. Don't get me wrong. I find absolutely no problem with your partner, your woman, your man being able to come to you and them telling you how their day went or what happened with so-and-so because they trust me. I trust you to be able to do that. But where things get sticky is when you are gossiping and talking junk and mess about other people. Because what I automatically think is, dang, you are going to town on this person verbally. What makes you not talk about me like this? Especially when you are talking about my relative, someone that I love or care about. That's where things get real sticky, where the lines get blurred. If you have the audacity to come to me and talk mess about someone that I love, someone that I care about, that shows that you have no respect for me. Because I would never in my life come to you and talk mess about someone that you care about and will go to war for because I respect you that much. If you are having a problem with that person, I will give advice. I will try to be that solution bearer for you, but I will never talk mess about your loved one. That's just out of respect to you. It's like for those who have siblings, right? And say, for instance, you and your brother, you and your sister had a big argument that morning before y'all went to school or went out, and y'all literally hate each other in that morning. But later on, you find out that your sibling is getting in a fight with somebody. Are you not going to run over there and help your sibling because y'all just had a huge argument this morning? Because y'all fake hated each other this morning? Heck no. You are running over there and shaking the table for your sibling, for your brother and your sister, because at the end of the day, that is your loved one. And then at the end, you say, nobody hits my brother or my sister except for me. That is because that love that you have for that person is real. And the same applies for someone talking about your loved one. If you're able to talk down on my loved ones, red flag. If you are talking junk about someone, a good person, a kind-hearted person who does not warrant this gossip and this mess talking that you're doing, red flag. If you are a big talker, a big chick chatter, you are more likely to be tested because of your reputation. Your reputation precedes you. If you notice, people who talk a lot, you've heard that from somebody else. Somebody told you that. Watch out for that person. They talk a lot. Don't tell that person your secrets because they will run and tell everybody. People like that gets tested. The next interesting thing that an interested man, a serious man, will test you on is the consistency of your affection, the consistency of your wants and your desire for him. He wants to see what your affection, your wants, and your desire is based on. Do you actually like this man? Do you actually love this man for who he is? Or do you just do it because of what he does for you or for what he has? If you treat this man like a king when he's able to give you anything you want at the drop of a dime and at any time that you ask, but you treat him like a peasant when he doesn't have something at that moment or when he didn't get paid and he's not able to give you something, do you treat him differently? That is a test that a lot of men will do on you because they want to see the consistency of who you actually are and what you want. He wants to see if you're actually down for him, if you're actually here for the long term. I might be doing well today, but that does not mean I will be well tomorrow. But will you still be down? It's kind of like that 21 questions from 50 Cent. He wants to see what you're truly after his heart or his pocket, after love or after lust. Whatever it is, he wants to see the truth. But your consistency in different situations and circumstances will expose that. And the last one I want to bring up that men test women on, especially when they're interested and serious about her, is her respect for his time and his effort. As y'all know, I talk about this all the time. A big part of being a man, a big part of manhood is what we do, what we are able to provide. We will use every fiber of our muscles to do for our loved one, especially our woman. So that is a big part of the reason why we do everything. So Men want to see if you appreciate that, even when the result isn't grand. Not all things are going to result in big and marvelous and beautiful things. Sometimes the little things matter more than the big things. Do you appreciate me when I do the little things? Because I know you appreciate me when I do the big things. Do you appreciate me when I do the things and it doesn't result in a success? Maybe I mess up and fail. Do you appreciate my effort anyhow? Or do you just appreciate my results? And this applies especially in the early stages when that man is trying to impress you. Men love to be patted on the back. They love to be cheered. But there is no bigger cheerleader than his woman. But he wants to see if you are the woman for him. And in order to see if you are the woman for him, you may come across these tests. One thing I will say about tests is that, once again, it is a reality. So don't be mad at the messenger, but understand the message. But with this, what I will say is communication is important. And not just that, a big part of communication is on you. And that is understanding what is being told to you, accepting what is being told to you. And if you don't accept it, y'all got to communicate about that. Communication is everything, because when you communicate and hear your partner out and try and put effort in understanding what he's saying, even if you don't understand it or not used to that or familiar with that, that will lessen the chances of him feeling like he needs to test you. Testing occurs when things are unsure, and the best way to solve unsureness is communication. Thank you for being here, and I will catch you on my next video. Peace and blessings. Goodbye.